our cousin.
So I'm going to call an auto. I want you to stay on the line, Sam. I want you to stay on the line for the mic drop here. I'm calling an audible here. I had one written and prepared, but I want to do something a little bit different here. So we're going to do this week's mic drop.
Mic drop.
So when I was a kid, I went to a private school. I went to a Christian school in third grade because I was screwing around, and my parents finally said they'd had it, and they sent me to this little private school. And not so much for the Christian part, but more for the private part because they wanted me to stop
you needed your knuckles whacked.
A little bit.
Too young for the military academy.
Yeah, exactly. So they had, and it was actually a really good education. It was good for me. But the thing was, I came up with, I have this theory, this theory, I called it the Jonathan Hayes theory. And basically, the way it goes is the first person to cry, whether they're guilty or not, that's the one that gets all the sympathy. Jonathan Hayes was the pastor's kid in this private school. Pastor Hayes was a wonderful man, and he was extremely nice to everybody and fair and just a really, really fantastic guy. Unfortunately, his kid Jonathan was a snot-nosed little wiener kid. And he was now I'm a big guy now. I was a big kid. I mean, in 4th, 5th grade, somewhere I was probably 150 pounds. I was a big kid. And this kid was probably 95 pounds soaking wet. He was small for his age. I was big for my age. And he would pick on me relentlessly. And now I'm a confident guy. I was a confident kid. I didn't really care. Call me names, whatever. I pretty much knew I was better than everybody. So it was pretty hard to break my tough
hurt
skin.
your feelings.
Yeah, I didn't really care. That combined with the fact that this kid was tiny compared to me, there was really not a whole lot I could do. So this kid would relentlessly hit me, punch me, call me names, just on and on and on and on and on. And I would just kind of, whatever. He was more of a gnat, okay? And by the way, this kid, he was an annoying little wiener kid back then. He grew up. I looked him up a few years ago. He is actually a staffer for a congressman. So he's still
Democrat. Let's guess.
He's still an annoying wiener. Anyway, so one day we're out at recess, and Jonathan Hayes took a football and threw it full speed at my head, hit me right in the temple. Well, that was it. I'd had it. I went and picked this kid up, slammed him down on the ground, got right in his face, told him never to do that again. Well, it was right around the time that the younger kids were getting out of school, so every mom was walking by, and they see this big kid, me, right, jumping on this little kid, Jonathan Hayes, and bullying him. Now, this is a little private school in the South, so you can imagine all these moms had real sensible haircuts and were busybodies, didn't have a whole lot else going on in life. So guess what they did? I got reported, and this big mean guy. Meanwhile, I'm going, you know what? This kid relentlessly is pinching, and prodding and hitting and whatever. You know what I mean? So that's where my Jonathan Hayes theory comes from. The first one that whines, the first one that cries, that's the one that gets the sympathy. Oh, poor Jonathan Hayes and this big mean monster Mike, right? Even though I was the one taking all the abuse. Now, that's great. What a nice story. Fantastic. What does this have to do with a mic drop? Well, normally I do a mic drop on local events, local politicians, but this one I want to go a little international. Right now, Israel is, for the last few days, for the last week, has been in effect in a war, in a true war with Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization. And if you turn on the news, you would think that Hamas is sitting there,
Jonathan Hayes,
tending to their gardens, and when big bad Israel decides, this is truly the Jonathan Hayes effect right here happening, and I think people need to know it. Especially if you turn on the left has fully embraced Hamas, the terrorist organization, and if you look at some of their media outlets like CNN and MSNBC. So in that example, if you're wondering what's going on in Israel, Hamas is Jonathan Hayes, Israel is Mike Schwartz, and the news are all these short-haired, busybody Karens that were picking up their little angels, these soccer moms, And it is absolutely ridiculous.
What a great analogy.
Israel, isn't that good?
It's really good.
Israel, where in their and Sam, back me up on this. Israel has a parliamentary system of government, right?
They do.
And in that system of government, they've had Jews, Christians, Muslims serve. They've had men and women. I mean, they are truly all inclusive, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So if you look at Hamas, by the way, don't confuse Hamas with every Arab or every member of Islam, every follower of Islam. Hamas is a very specific, dangerous terrorist group.
Like MS-13.
Very similar. So that's my analogy. That's your mic drop for the week. Thank you all. See you guys next week.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.